Hi guys, thanks for tuning into my channel. This is Sonetta. So today I want to talk about the difference between reacting and responding. And this is in regards to if someone says something or does something that you do not like, that triggered you, that caused you to get upset. Are you going to react or are you going to respond? How many of us have ever been so angry by what someone said or did that we just kind of lashed out and lost it? And then later felt regretful. I can tell you so many times where I was like, dang, I meant what I said, but I shouldn't have said it like that. And so I'm working on, which I've always been working on this, I'm working on responding versus reacting. But sometimes you can go for a long period of time, everything's fine, you're responding the way you're supposed to be responding, and then out of nowhere someone will say something to you and it'll trigger you. I know that's happened to me before when I was like, dang, I didn't realize that thing still bothered me, right? So it just shows where growth is still needed. We are all in a continual state of growth is how I like to think about it. So what is the difference between reacting and responding? To me, reacting is just unconscious. It's knee-jerk, didn't think about it first. It's almost as if we're programmed to react a certain way when somebody does something offensive to us, right? Responding is more you took time to think about it. It is conscious. You consider the whole scenario before you give your response. And I like to think about responding like a couple of steps. Like one, pause first before you react, before you give your response, whether it's through a text message or a telephone message or someone, just someone in person. They're coming at you in a way that's offensive, that's triggering some negative emotions in you. You want to pause, take a deep breath, get a hold of your breathing. And what'll happen is over time, if you are someone who just typically reacts, right away, you say something to me, I'm gonna say something right back, like boom, real quick like that. Like in traffic, if somebody cuts you off, we have all been in traffic, cut somebody off or do something wrong and somebody will flip us off, right? That was just a reaction. They just reacted that way. I think if you cultivate learning how to respond or just being conscious of responding over reacting, it will help in situations like that. In traffic, somebody cuts you off, you won't even care. You'll just be like, okay, maybe they're in a hurry. You know what I mean? It just kind of allows you to give grace to people. Someone cuts you out, okay, especially if you know this person or whatever, you'll cultivate this spirit of grace where you're like, you know what, let me go talk to them because maybe they going through something that ain't got nothing to do with me. It allows you to give grace to people. So pausing first before you give your response is really, really helpful. Consider the scenario. This person's coming at you wrong. They're upset with you about something. They may have said the wrong thing to you in the wrong way. So before you react, consider that person. What are they really upset about? Or what did I really say to possibly upset them? So instead of lashing back out at them, I'm going to consider the whole situation and then have a conversation and respond in a more appropriate way than a knee-jerk reaction response. Because if you lash out at somebody because they lashed out at you, then they're going to lash back out. And then it's just conflict as opposing to responding in an appropriate way in a reasonable amount of time that the relationship can be salvaged, or not even salvaged, but it doesn't even have to go there. We relate to people all the time. We have miscommunications all the time. We say the wrong thing sometimes. We upset each other or whatever. So it's important to have the skill of responding so that we don't ruin relationships with people that we care and love about. What else do I have notes, but y'all know I don't usually go off my notes. I usually do not go off my nose. So basically that's it. That's the difference. So it's like Reaction is knee-jerk, unconscious, responding. You took time and you thought about it. I recently read this thing, and this is not for me. I read this thing that said, you have a cup of coffee. Let's say you have a cup of coffee in your hand, and someone comes and they bump you, and you spill the coffee. And someone says, why? Someone may say, why did you spill your coffee? They're like, because she bumped me. You didn't spill the coffee because someone bumped you. You spilled the coffee because that's what you had in your cup. If it was tea in your cup, you would have spilled tea. And I have a video coming up called You Can't Pour from an Empty Cup. But it's important what you're pouring. So whatever's inside of you, when you get bumped, when you get triggered, it's going to come out. That's what's going to come out. So if you have negativity, toxicity in your cup, when somebody cuts you off in traffic, your first response is going to give them the finger. If you have all those negative things inside of you and someone says the wrong thing to you, it could be your first reaction is going to be to lash out. Whatever's inside of you is going to come up. But if you have joy and patience and love on the inside of you, if someone says something that's offensive, what comes out is love, joy, forgiveness. That's what's going to come up when you're triggered. We're not going to go through this life being triggered or being offended. But what's inside of us is what's going to come out. And the way it comes out is we're going to react or we're going to respond. And you can react without thinking in a positive way. Reaction doesn't always have to be negative. If someone bumps into me at the grocery store with a cart, I'm not going to be like, dang, watch where you go. It may just be, without even thinking, knee-jerk reaction. Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. You see the difference? So, reaction versus responding. Something we may or may not have to cultivate. That's all I have today, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to click the like button. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider and do so. I really would appreciate it. Leave a comment below if you have one. And I will see you guys in my next one.